Volland has released 2 exclusive promo codes just for our community. Get 50% off your first 3 months of the Vol Hacks tier, valid through November 30th, 2025, or get 25% off any Volland tier for 3 months. Use these special codes at checkout. Check out Volland at www.vol.land.
Do you have any stocks that you might want to see in the quad screener?
Oh my goodness. Every single day in the live trading room, we come up with potential plays to see how they're doing as it relates to option flow, to see if there's also positioning that supports a particular bullish or bearish bent. And of late, some names that aren't there, RIVN XPEV. That was last week, but let's just see what they look like on your Vanna screener, which we've not used before. So this would be an additional kind of tool in the toolbox to pull out. So
yeah, so you were mentioning Rivian
XPEV, for example, they're doing some profit taking today, but as it relates to a swing time frame, I'm very curious. And
yeah, so this is all swing time frame, by the way. None of this is 0 DTE. This is basically the all expiration Vanna. That's our time frame. So
got it.
You can have like a quad screener in here and just kind of putting in the stocks that you have. We're looking at Rivian. Just a side note, this y-axis is gamma exposure. So everybody's kind of familiar now with gamma exposure. Big negative means very volatile. Big positive means not very volatile. What we do, though, is we categorize on a trade level based on a fair price using the flows we got the feed straight from CBOE, and we categorize in that way. We need to know the premiums. That's why we categorize it like that instead of, say, open close or something. And also with 1,000 stocks, you can't get that with open close. So that's how we come to our gamma levels. We are not assuming all puts are bought and all calls are sold by customers. We're not using mid price. We're not using, what's the other one? The squeeze metrics one, the volatility moving thing. We don't use that. We use theoretical vols. And these are the same indicators that market makers use to determine what the fair price is. So when I'm looking at Rivian, it appears that it says here -1. So it's the lowest Vanna it has been in the past 6 months. The volatility, however, is 0.73, which means it shouldn't be very volatile. If I look here, now this is that next step that you could kind of take from Vol Hacks. Look at Rivian, and I'm seeing, okay, so these are probably puts, even though we saw, like it said, -1 in Vanna, which means it's the lowest, there's still a lot of positive Vanna right here. I could expect Rivian to still advance.
What time frame, though? How do we use this to kind of judge a time frame?
So the all expirations, you're kind of looking at where this 20 strike is what I'd be attracted to. So you're looking at 3 minutes. We're coming out with a 3D volatility plane where you could see which expiration this is. But for now, I am going to go here, since it's only weekly options. I will look at, let's see if that 20, nope. So it's going to be a little bit longer than December. Let's see where that occurs. So we got here, let's look at February. There it is. So I guess for about January or February is when this 20 strike is there. I would say that over the time frame into 2026, you could start to see a bump. So any kind of drawdown in Rivian would be one to buy. We might see a drawdown because Vanna is high.
That's excellent as far as the time frame of that higher price point, but over the next month or two. So many people want it by November expiration or December expiration, and that's just not how price action, especially with an oversold play that's coming out of a bottom fishing formation, like these two EV players. They need to absorb that auction of buyers and sellers. There are a lot of sellers above. So they have to literally eat up all the sellers that are just happy to unload at these higher prices. And that's going to create the rejection, the price turbulence. But big picture, it's still a very nice reversal off the bottom trend. So you're saying into January, February timeframe for, in other words, further dated options.
Yes. So I think too, also one thing I noticed, and we're going to be coming out with historicals, I think next week or so. These right here are long puts. Customers have started buying puts. That is what you want to see if you're looking for a reversal. My projection would be Rivian probably recently, we saw these put flows come in.
At 18.
Yeah, 14, 15, I think. 18 is probably when you started seeing these put flows. I kind of always say in that option hedging kind of world, hedging is bullish, selling is bearish. You saw those selling flows that brings you down. But then once people start buying puts, they don't want to sell their shares. They're buying puts to hedge their shares.
Yeah.
So they want to keep them. So now this is kind of a bullish area here. If we drop into 14, 15 in like November, December, that's a good spot to buy.
Yep. 1534. Agreed.
Join Club to trade with Samantha. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description.